Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to episode 32 of Sun and Grace and Sass. My name is Breezy. I am your host. As you can see, I have my blanket on because I'm very cold at this moment. Um, Also, they need to invent chairs that have like a little thing you can place your feet on or something to help you. Because if you're like me, you can't sit still in a chair long enough, right? But you also like to be sitting down when you're doing stuff too at the same time. I'm very weird. I think that's my undiagnosed autism and ADHD coming out. What can I say? I'm special. That explains so much of my childhood, though. Anywho, see if I can get myself comfortable here with my blanket. There we go. Today, you're probably wondering why I'm titling this episode "Giving Myself a Pity Party" after choking at a job I wanted so badly. Look, I'm just gonna say it, these last few years have been hell. I'm not gonna lie to you. Financially, these last few years have been hell. And I had this amazing job offer. I got a chance to go on this job. Um, so, but yeah. And we'll get to all of that a little later on in the episode. But if you're new here, please hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. Also, please subscribe. Help a girl out. Ha ha ha. Anyway, there's this recent song on TikTok that I discovered. I don't know how long it's been out, but it's by this artist called Tyler Braden, and it's called Call Me First. Perhaps you've heard of it. Anyway, why does that song hit so hard? Someone please tell me. It just hits differently, like especially when you've been there from time to a time or two. But here, I want to go off. So here's the first verse of the song. And goes, I'm not gonna sing it to y'all because I want to spare your ears, obviously. But it goes, man, I know this ain't like us. We don't usually get this deep, that much. We're a little less man, it hurts, and a little more suck it up. But whatever's on your mind is showing on your face. We ain't gotta talk it out right now if this ain't the time or place, but I just want to make sure you know you ain't gotta be a tough guy alone. Oh my gosh, that verse hits really hard. Like, oh my gosh. To hear someone say that to you, you just know. Like, because I feel a lot of people, like, it's not showing until it's too late. And when we hear someone tell us that, it's sometimes it feels good just to get it all off our chest. But yeah. But the chorus goes on to say, if that cross gets a little too heavy, if one night gets a little too dark, if the demons you've been fighting get the drop on a worn down heart, I ain't saying I can make it all better, but when it feels like it just can't get worse, and you're thinking about calling it quits, call me first. Look, as someone who has attempted to take her own life 3 different times, I just know this really hits and it's hard. And I know what you're thinking. Me, of all people, but I look so happy and stuff. I have a very dark, like, there's parts of me that are dark for a reason and I'm not proud of. And I would rather have someone call me first before they think about making that decision. I am proud to say it's been 7 years and I have not had that thought cross my mind once. No, actually, 8 years. My bad. Almost 9 years. Yeah. But here's the thing. I want if we can just have someone to talk to, because a lot of us feel like we don't have someone to talk to. But let's move on to verse 2. You ain't gotta beat around the truth. Never know, I might have been there too. We really ain't gotta say nothing. We ain't gotta know what to do. Um, and know what to do. We ain't got, but make it in the middle of a workday. And I want this part to really stand out, okay? Pay attention. Call me around 2 a.m. and I'd rather hear sorry I'm calling. Repeat that with me one more time. I'd rather hear sorry I'm calling than to hear nothing again. I have people in my life that if they're ever in that situation, I would want them to give me a call. I don't care what time of day it is. If I if this your voice is the last thing I hear, I'm I don't want to have to hear or miss a phone call that could have saved your life. I don't ever want that. But yeah, that got dark really fast to start this episode. What can I say? I'm a person of mystery and intrigue, I guess. But there's also a song by Sugarland that I love so much. And honestly, it fits me to the core, and I share it with y'all. You might recognize the song. It's called Little Miss by Sugarland. And it got me really in my pity party feels, if I'm being honest. But, hang on. Yeah, I know that's rude. Drop it in the comments, I don't care. Anyway, the first verse goes, Little Miss Done on Love, Little Miss I Give Up, Little Miss I'll Get Tough, don't you worry about me anymore. Little Miss Checkered Dress, Little Miss One Big Mess, Little Miss I'll Take Less when I always give so much more. If we all know a Little Miss just like that, someone just like that. And the thing is, this song really to me isn't just for children, it's for adults as well. Especially little girls who have been in that situation growing up. But the chorus goes, it's alright, it's alright. Sometimes you gotta lose till you win. Say that one more time for the people in the back. Sometimes you gotta lose till you win. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. It'll be alright again. I'm okay. It'll be alright again. I'm okay. It'll be alright again. I'm okay. But yeah. Then it moves on to verse 2. Little Miss, do your best. Little Miss, never rest. Little Miss, be my guest. I'll make more anytime it runs out. Little Miss, you'll go far. Little Miss, hide your scars. And Little Miss, who you are is so much more than you like to talk about. Then it goes on to repeat the chorus, and then here's the verse. Verse 3. Hold on, you are loved. Little Miss Brand New Start, Little Miss Do Your Part, Little Miss Big Old Heart Beats Wide Open. Now she's ready now for love. I just love that song by Sugarland, and I think it's really important because we all know someone like that. And oftentimes those adults were once little girls who just really needed to hear that and they were never told that at the end of the day. There's also another song by Sugarland that I personally love, and that is called Stand Back Up. And verse 1 goes, go ahead and take your best shot, let her rip, give it all you got. I'm laid out on the floor, but I've been here before. I may stumble, yeah, I might fall, only human, aren't we all? But I might lose my way, but hear me when I say I'll stand back up. That's also part of the chorus, okay? But you goes, you'll know the moment when I've had enough. Sometimes just a moment that what I've had enough, and but sometimes I'm afraid and I don't feel that tough. Hell yeah, I don't feel that tough all the time, even though I show it. But I'll stand back up. Then it goes on to verse 2, where it goes, I've been beaten up and bruised. I've been kicked right off my shoes and been down on my knees more times than you believe. When the darkness tries to get me, there's a light that just won't let go. It might take my pride and my tears might fill my eyes, but I'll stand back up. Then it goes on to repeat the chorus, but there's another verse that goes, I weather all these storms, but I've just turned them into wind so I can fly. What don't kill you makes you stronger. When I take my last breath, that's when I'll just give up. And it goes on to repeat the chorus, and I think we need to hear that chorus one more time, right? I think so too. Because I'll stand back up, and you'll know the moment when I've had enough. Sometimes I'm afraid and I don't feel that tough, but I'll stand back up. And you know the moment, and you'll know the moment when I've had enough, but sometimes I'm afraid I don't feel that tough, but I'll stand back up. Some of us really should go back and listen to that song because it's just one of those songs that when you hear it, it's like you just need to hear it at that time. But there's been some great changes that have been happening to me. The first one was really nerve wracking. And I mean nerve wracking, y'all. Here's the thing anyone that knows me knows I hate public speaking more than anything in this planet. At least when I talk to a camera, there's nobody on the other end, and honestly, I'm okay with that. But I'm an introvert through and through. What can I say? But I gave my testimony at a church a few weeks ago, and it was one of the best things and also the very most nerve wracking things ever. I am not a public speaker. I will be the first to admit that. Um, and it's like giving your testimony shouldn't be so hard. And yet, sometimes it can be one of the hardest things to do. It's like you just gotta start with giving your testimony. That's it. At the end of the day, it takes sometimes because your testimony may be what someone needs to hear before they surrender themselves to God. You never know what's going to happen. And I think that's important. Which leads me to some good news. I am starting a new podcast. Yes, I know I have too many podcasts as it is. Oh well. Anyway, this podcast is going to be called this podcast is going to be called The Desert Road. And the title actually came from a Casting Crown song, but it also The Desert Road is a story I think we can all resonate with at the same time. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I have the first 6 episodes of season 1 lined up, so I just gotta get the last episodes of season 1 lined up. I also have True Crime Lounge that's got some more stuff coming out, so I'm excited for that as well. And also during this past week, I was literally like putting apologetic bundles together and cleaning up the campus ministries room here at Wallace. Honestly, and it made me realize that I miss having an office job. As much as I love doing it, it distracted me from the fact that I choked at my interview. Like, here's the thing that's leading to choking. And I wanted this job. In the first round, so I got past several, like, there was like a writing test or whatever. Then there was like the first round of interviews where I didn't know until like a few minutes before that I was meeting with like a 3-person panel. If I wasn't already nervous enough. And it was just like the moment I get into the room and she asked a question, I choke and my brain just freezes. I was so mentally prepared, but the moment I get in there, I was like, what? I'm sorry, what? And I really do miss having an office job. Like, I'm kicking myself for the things that I should have said in my head that just did not come up. And I know there's gonna be somebody out there that says you'll find new jobs. But hell, after 2 years, almost 3, of constant job rejection, you can only take so much at the end of the day. And I moved on from being a paralegal because I guess my time being a paralegal was up. And it's something I've had to accept at the end of the day. So this wasn't a paralegal position. So this was an office job. And I really just want a yes at the end of the day. I'm not gonna cry. I've cried enough over it at night. And I just really want to win. I know that sounds silly to say, but sometimes we all just really, really need a win. And it was cleaning up the campus ministries room and putting these bundles together for apologetics that made me really, really want this job more than anything on this planet so badly. So badly. And I know, but yeah. So, am I giving myself a pity party? Yes. Do I want to? I really do need a win. I really do. Um, but yeah. Also, let's talk about some Reddit stories real quick. Um, sorry, I need to respond to this real quick. Hang on one second. Sorry about that. I had to respond to that email and stuff real quick. But I want to give some Reddit stories real quick, okay? Come on. Okay. So, here's our first Reddit story. You know the saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Clearly, whoever came up with this one never bombed the interview before so hard they wanted to move to another city out of sheer embarrassment. Let me kick things off this masterpiece of a failure. My all-time worst interview moment. The interview asked, "Why do you want to work here?" And brimming with confidence, I replied, "Because your office is 3 subway stops from my apartment." I kid you not, silence followed. And there is 3 subway stops from my apartment. So, hang on one second. Okay, back to this. All right. Anyway, with that being said, um, it goes, "Why do you want to work here?" And the interview, and he goes, then one interviewer says, "Not a polite chuckle," says, "This can't be real," laugh. And I walked out thinking, well, I would have saved the trouble of rejecting me and I did myself. What I learned was if interviewers aren't just about asking questions, they're about answering them as well. And it's about being confident, thoughtful, ideally not mentioning the commute. Um, but one teaches us we're all left fumbling through to get years ago and trial and error. And it feels like having a couch who wasn't silently judging. After using it, I noticed a huge shift in my next interview. I didn't freeze up, didn't ramble, and the biggest win. So, our next Reddit story goes, One time, after 15 years of fresh out of undergrad, I was playing around with my resume to see how a master's degree would look. So I listed a fake one, forgot to delete it, applied to jobs with that resume. I explicitly asked about my degree during the interview. In fact, I'm pretty sure the only reason I got the interview, needless to say, I didn't get the job. But I still cringe at every time I think about it. Another one is my own is that one my own worst interview moment was one of those one-way video interviews where you read the question, you have 60 seconds to answer and come up with an answer. And the question is, tell us about a time you made a mistake and how you read it and did handle it. I went through the 60 seconds legitimately having no idea how to answer. When I was recording started, I conduct myself in a way where where I don't regret my actions. I felt so dumb that I couldn't think of anything else. So, am I giving myself a pity party? Yes. Am I regretting some of the things I didn't say? Highly. Now, I'm trying to also rebuild my confidence and trusting God through it all. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And yes, I'm tired of trying, but I need to keep trying at the end of the day. But that is it for this episode. I will see y'all next time. Y'all have a great day.